Welcome into the Pioneer Pregame Show. I'm Gino Ganello alongside Trevor Thompson. And Trevor, Pioneers have a chance for a title today and a playoff bid, but it's going to be a little difficult for them. There's a couple scenarios they're going to play into this one today.
Yeah, Sacred Heart has to come out and win this game if they want any shot to making the playoff this year. So they have to come out and win this game, and they're going to need a little help from the other games as well.
Yeah, and like you said, Sacred Heart has to win this game, and that's the first part of these scenarios here. There's a bunch of different ones, and we'll go through them right now. We have Sacred Heart. If Sacred Heart wins, that at least earns them a share of this conference title. And then it goes to Duquesne and CCSU. If Duquesne wins, Sacred Heart doesn't make the playoffs, but they earn a share. If CCSU wins, then Sacred Heart makes the playoffs, earns a share of the conference title, and everything's all fine and dandy here in Fairfield, Connecticut. But if Sacred Heart loses, then the conference title and the playoff bid defers to that Duquesne CCSU game. And that game is going to be so important. We're all going to have our eyes on that one as we go through the day today. Mm-hmm. What do you think we see from this Duquesne CCSU game?
Well, these are two high-powered offenses. They have the best two offenses in the conference, but this is for the championship game. There's not going to be a lot of room out there for those guys. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be one of those ground and pound games. You're not just going to be able to throw it all over the place because title's on the line and everybody's on 10. Everybody makes sure their assignments are right. Nobody wants to make a mistake out there on defense. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game than what these two teams have had over the past years.
Yeah, and like you said, those championship games always tight, always something that happens in one mistake leads to a win for either team, and that's why it's such a toss-up in these games, no matter how good or how bad either team is. In this case, Duquesne and CCSU happen to be two very good teams. How do we see this one playing out?
I think Sacred Heart fans are going to like this. I think CCSU wins this. I feel as though when it comes to running the ball, that they're the better team in that aspect, and they're going to need to run the ball to beat this Duquesne team. Passing probably won't be there as well, even though that's their strength, but I think they can run the ball effectively as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly like you said, what us Sacred Heart fans want to hear about that one, because, again, need CCSU to win for us to have any shot of going to the playoffs, and that's the first part of the recipe. The second part of the recipe obviously goes to Sacred Heart, and let's take a look at this game in general against St. Francis, PA. Let's look at the offense first. How do the Sacred Heart offense have to perform today to beat St. Francis?
Well, they have to keep doing what they've been doing all year, and that's running the ball effectively. If they can run the ball effectively, which I think they can, they should be able to come out to have a good game plan offensively against the St. Francis team. Even though St. Francis is really good stopping the run on their own defensively, but I really think Duke is a playmaker. Meacham is a playmaker. Those two, when they get going, they're really tough to stop. And they're good at read option. They're good at read option in the red zone. They're good at play action in the red zone. And that's an area where St. Francis has struggled. They struggled last week against that with CCSU as well. So I think that's what Sacred Heart needs to do on offense to get things going.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Duke and Meacham, but you can't forget Chestnut either, having a great season here in his first year.
Exactly.
They've been unbelievable running the ball, and that's been a key to their offense the entire season, and hopefully they keep it up today. But moving to the defensive side of the ball, you mentioned how St. Francis's run defense is pretty good. Sacred Heart defense has been pretty good this year too. Yeah. How do they stop St. Francis on offense and allow them not to really score any points?
Yeah, so this is an important game. And so St. Francis is probably going to want to run the ball. Sacred Heart is really good against the run as well. So they have to stop them on first and second down, give them to third and long situation. That plays right into Sacred Heart's hands because they're the best pass defenses in the conference. So if they can force St. Francis to pass, then they should be fine in this game. That plays right into their hands.
Yeah, and it's all going to be all about the run today, it seems like. Yeah. Sacred Heart's run defense versus and Sacred Heart's run offense. How do you have this one playing out today? Is it in the Pioneers' favor, or are we looking the other way and not getting a championship? I think
the Pioneers come out on top because, like I mentioned, they have playmakers, those playmakers that can break through those deadlocks, like Meacham and Duke. You know, they can, if Meacham keeps it up, he's the second leading rusher in the conference. So I expect him to keep doing what he's doing well. And I just feel like he could be a game breaker for this team this coming out today.
There you have it. That's the scenario we need. A Sacred Heart win, a CCSU win. You guys know it now. That's all the time we have for you on the Pioneer Pregame Show. I'm Gino Ganello. He's Trevor Thompson. We're going to take a quick break, but coming up after the break, Sacred Heart, St. Francis. First half on NEC Front Row.